Hey everybody, I'm Ebony K. Williams along with Kat Temp and Brian Kilmeade in for Eric Bowling, and this is the Fox News Specialist. Breaking news right now. It's being reported that Reince Priebus is out as White House Chief of Staff. President Trump tweeting just moments ago, I am pleased to inform you that I've named General Secretary John F. Kelly as White House Chief of Staff. He is a great American. We're now going to go to Fox News Chief Political Anchor Bret Baier, who's in Washington with much, much more. Bret, your take.
Well, Ebony, we kind of saw some of this in the cards as you saw the back and forth between Anthony Scaramucci and Reince Priebus. And privately, senior officials were saying that Priebus's days may be numbered. They have been numbered to 1. Now you have General John Kelly, the Secretary of Homeland Security, will leave that post at DHS and will take on perhaps a more tumultuous job at the moment, Chief of Staff at the White House, trying to see who can get in to see the president and try to steer the White House in a way that the president wants. Obviously, President Trump has been a proponent of pulling in generals and using former military men as key figures in his administration. Kelly is top on the list, the former commander of U.S. Southern Command, and then a Secretary of Homeland Security who has not shied away from using blunt language in pursuing immigration policies that President Donald Trump has wanted along the border. It'll be interesting to see what happens at DHS as they move forward. But this is a major shakeup. Reince Priebus, the former head of the RNC turned Chief of Staff, has now left, and General John Kelly will now be the new White House Chief of Staff.
My goodness, Bret, so much happening so quickly, just this instantaneous naming of the replacement for Priebus. Let me ask you this. Have you heard anything so far in Washington in terms of remarks that the president's made around Priebus himself or his exit?
No. You know, Reince Priebus was on this trip today to Long Island where the president talked about MS-13 and fighting that dangerous gang. He was on Air Force One, as was Anthony Scaramucci, the incoming communications director. There was no talk, no comments, and the White House was kind of staying away from publicly commenting about any of that dust-up. Privately, you heard senior officials saying that the president didn't have a problem with some of the salty language that was caught on the record by Scaramucci in that New Yorker piece, and taking aim at Reince Priebus. And when you heard that, obviously it signaled that perhaps Priebus's days were numbered. His term here has been obviously pretty up and down when you look at what the Chief of Staff is trying to do. But this, to Reince Priebus's defense, is a tough presidency to kind of steer and keep all the cats herded, if you will. There are a lot of cooks in the Donald Trump kitchen, and now you will have a general at the helm who is going to try to straighten out the White House behind the scenes.